Hello and welcome, Lynx here, and today it's time for another H.io game, which technically you can get for free, but I've seen you can also get additional art book, I think, if you pay $2, so I'm gonna have to go back to that, definitely. However, the Snowdrop Diaries. Let's check out this game, which apparently is going to be a little bloody, but also probably interesting. So let's jump to it. Also a bit blinding apparently, because the widescreen. Month of the Aquatic Dragon, day 5th. Hello dear diary, and please forgive me. I received you on my birthday a month ago. Actually, for me it's also kind of close enough. I mean, for me it was a week ago, but yeah. But couldn't find the time to write a single line. Shame on me. I've never had a diary, to be honest. I had a blog, but let's not talk about it. I promise to share all the events with you from now. I'll write very, very often. Sabine says I always overreact to the smallest things, but what happened today was so incredible. It would be a sin not to record it for posterity. You know what I forgot? To take my glasses. And I have my glasses. That's why I remember you. Please forgive me again, dear diary. Here is what happened. I've been looking for a book about a certain legend for a long time. A legend about snowdrops having the power to expel evil. I feel like I've heard this music in the past somewhere. In one of the VNs. I might be mistaken, I'm sorry if I am, but it is similar to something. Doesn't it sound romantic? Like the snowdrops, not the music. Pure white flowers breaking through the cold, come to rescue people from the god-forsaken filth, which Sister Vanessa loves to mention in her sermons. Ah, those snowdrops must be beautiful. According to the legends, these fragile buds sparkled with a tender blue color, which allowed the suffering lambs of God to discover them among the forest gloom. That's quite convenient, no matter how you slice it. Legends don't lie, do they? Oh, girl. Ha ha ha. Do I have news for you? Of course they don't. Otherwise people wouldn't write them down in thick books and pass them to future generations. Right, of course. Sure. Totally true. Let's not break it for her. Well, I wonder where I can find you, my cute magical snowdrops. The legend wasn't very generous when it comes to details. The only clue I was able to find on the slightly torn yellowed page was the mention of small glades hiding next to holy places, such as monasteries and churches. Are they holy places for... I have my doubts, to be honest. Places of greed? Yeah. And so on, and so on. To be honest, it's probably the last place that you would call holy. Holy? Was it holy? Yeah. I would never say that. Anywho. May the blessing be upon the holy elders. Or not. Oh boy, this game will be so against my beliefs, okay? Especially regarding the Polish church here. Hopefully she's not in a Polish one. Yeah, that's probably better, but... Anyway. Thanks to her wishes, I'm living as a novice in the monastery. Divine grace is all around me. As Sister Vanessa says in her sermons, I'm sure there are a couple of qualified glades nearby. I close the book and jump to my feet. Time to get out of the monastery and check the surroundings. Also, yes, if it's the, like, inner voice or narration, I'm gonna talk normally. As me. For the character saying something, we are going to switch a little bit. Yeah. And in order to do that, I'll need help from my best friend, Sybil, the one and only. Sybil. Okay. Being afraid of getting a few hundreds of lectures from Sister Vanessa, I adjusted my appearance and stepped out into the corridor, which is creepy. The frightening echo of my footsteps reached the dark high ceilings. It has always been cold inside the monastery, be it winter or summer. Okay, if it's summer, it kinda sounds nice. So I got used to walking fast. But I understand why we want to walk out of there fast. It's a useful skill, especially if you wish to slip away from the all-seeing eyes of the elder sisters. You are a disgrace of our monastery. The horrendous acoustic delivered Sister Vanessa's furious words. There was only one person who could have been the target of her hostility. Sister Vanessa, I'm sorry. Sybil's face looked like a stone sculpture of a saint who was ready to bear any sufferings, as long as the opponent would let them get away sooner. What is the meaning of words if they don't have a tiny drop of remorse? I was the one who invented the monastery's rules, Sybil. And it's not up to you to break them. Oh, come on, calm down! My best friend's brave smile has always filled me with admiration. With such a shield, she had easily been able to withstand the other sisters' wrathful runs. I beg your pardon? If you continue being anxious, you'll be covered in wrinkles soon, together with your rosary. Sybil. Sister Vanessa, I'm just worried about your health, no more than less. Then do me a favor and follow the rules. Do not wear any jewelry inside the humble abode ever again. Well, then technically you should not be allowed to wear those crosses then. Come on, Sybil, point that out, please. Sybil unconsciously reached for her ear and I noticed an emerald earring gleaming in the dim light of the torch. So that was it. According to Saint Eleanor's precepts, a maiden is supposed to be modest, neat, quiet, and obedient. Meh, not necessarily. And there Sister Vanessa was going again. Sybil frowned, looking around. It seemed like she was about to say something foolish. I had to help her as soon as possible. Sister Vanessa. I'm not to be swayed by temptation. Huh? What's wrong, Nellie? Sister Monica called for you because of a very urgent subject. She's in the kitchen. Nellie, you liar. I see. Well, I should better get her going. Sybil, I trust you understand what to do. Of course. I'll immediately take off everything tempting and sinful. That's much better, child. Bless we are. How is it tempting? Tempting to who? Like what? I wonder now if sisters are not allowed, actually not allowed any jewelry. I wouldn't pay attention because, I mean, they are all old hacks here, so yeah. Anyway, Sister Vanessa forced a smile, then nodded at us and disappeared in the darkness of the corridor. For a while, Sybil and I listened to the wind's faint howling. Then my friend tilted her head. Did Sister Monica really call for her? No. That's my girl! Good job! We started laughing. Ringing laughter felt so out of place under the ancient vaults, as if it was afraid to seem like a stranger inside this gloomy and cold place. That Vanessa! She's always angry at me. Just what have I done to her, Nellie? How long is she going to torture me? Until the monastery's rules start accepting nuns wearing jewelry. Seriously, though, I mean, the cross, it's also jewelry. So... That means never! Why won't that killjoy take some lessons from Sister Monica, huh? She even wears makeup! Sister Monica is special. She can do anything she wishes. She probably found out Vanessa's darkest secrets, so Vanessa wanted to push her around. I would sell my soul in exchange for such a knowledge. What a scary confession inside the monastery's walls. Oh, speak of secret knowledge. Sybil, I was looking for you. Oh no! And here I was hoping that the noble Snowdrop rushed to my side in order to save me from the furious demon. One does not preclude the other. Oh, haha, just kidding. So, what happened? Snowdrops! Your relatives? Absolutely not. I look nothing like a flower. Oh, of course. I want to find a glade full of snowdrops. Show me the way into the forest. 2 days ago, Sybil boasted about finding an obscure secret passage in the stone wall that shrouded our monastery from the forest. A perfect backdoor to the outside world. Wait, you are locked up there? What the hell? What? Into the forest? No way, Snowdrop. That place is freezing cold. Sybil, I beg you. Okay, I've just returned from there. Please. What kind of snowdrops would grow in our boring woods anyway? Use your head. Magical, legendary, curative, tender blue. Fine, I get it. Will you show me the secret passage? You don't even have to accompany me. Mark my words, I'll match myself. I only need to enter the forest. I like her how her expressions are changing on the face right now. She had a viewer by now. Diddy. Oh, Snowdrop. Sybil shook her head while smiling, then grabbed me in a powerful hug. How can I say no to your face? Heh. And of course you're not going anywhere alone. Hooray! Let's enjoy the beauty of the snowdrops together. May the will of Saint Eleanora be with us. Blessed we are. I'm so lucky to have such a great friend. Ooh, nice area. Sybil and I slipped into the yard, reached the wall, and soon had found the passage which led to the beautiful snowy forest. After seeing so many of the monastery's gloomy halls, the white color blinded my eyes. I sneezed, catching the snow lake with the tip of my nose. I told you it was cold here. Don't mind it. The walk will warm us up. Do you know where we're going? Where the heart guides me. Sybil just laughed. We moved forward. I didn't know the surroundings very well. To be precise, I knew next to nothing about the outside world. Our monastery bears the name of Vasefield, the same name that many years ago was given to the nearby village that was laid by the other side of the forest. The monastery, the forest, and the village. Quite a tiny world, when you think about it. Thank goodness some wonderful person collected lots of books with various legends and tales in the library. Snowdrops, where are you? Under the snow. That's ordinary flowers for you. I'm talking about the magical ones. Well, well, well. From time to time, my friend set her glance in a certain direction where, according to my humble knowledge, in the lowland led the village of Vacefield. Do you want to go to the village? Very much, but it's forbidden for the nuns to leave the monastery. Same goes for us, foolish, naive, and innocent novices. Sister Monica had been there, and she refused to take me with her. At least she gave me the earrings. But what's the point of wearing them inside the monastery, where Sister Vanessa is always watching for us? I don't think Sister Vanessa wishes us any harm. She only protects the novices from being influenced by the filth. You shouldn't be mad at her. Once we learn how to withstand the dangers, we'll be able to visit the village for sure. You are lucky. You have Nate. I jumped, distracted from my searching for the magical glade. Who? What about Nate? Sybil snorted while smiling tenderly. Nathaniel Vacefield, son of the village chief, heir of the rich man, thanks to whom our poor old Vacefield monastery hasn't fallen apart yet. Not a bad fiancé, huh? Don't make me sound like some greedy fortune hunter. I blushed, understanding that Sybil was only joking. At the same time, I felt that my friend was envious. The path leading her into the future went ahead like a straight road without any branching. Unlike mine. How come? Vacefield Monastery accepted any woman, maiden, or girl that decided to become a nun. Why would you do that to yourself? The newcomer should spend 5 years as a novice, then either become a fully fledged sister or leave the monastery. Sybil and I grew up together inside the monastery. Both of us became novices when we turned 15. I still had 4 years left, and Sybil, too. I got used to the monastic life and couldn't imagine myself outside the familiar walls. That's why I still couldn't make up my mind. I loved Nate very, very much, and he was ready to wed me any day, but I still hesitated about accepting his proposal. If I were to leave, Sybil would be left alone. She couldn't get along with anyone inside the monastery but me, and bring up her strained relationship with Sister Vanessa would be a sin. And even if Sybil truly admired Sister Monica, the two of them weren't very close. Had Sybil a choice, she would have given up on being a novice years ago, but where would she go? Where to live? What job to take? Lonely young girls can't survive without a guardian's protection, and Nate's family wasn't interested in helping one of many failed nuns. They only made an exception for me. I wonder why, and only because, okay, Nate stubbornly fought for his wish to take an orphan of unknown origins as his wife. Huh. What? Seriously? That's his reason. Wow. Don't lose your head in the clouds. Huh. Can't stop thinking about your future husband's wealth. You're getting it wrong. Our love is fate. Fate. Written in the heavens. Holy elders. Are you talking about that legend again? Saint Eleanor and Nathaniel the Knight. Heroes and lovers. And the two of you are their reincarnated souls, right? Of course, isn't it amazing? Oh, Snowdrop, blessed we are. Where's your glade? I'm as frozen as an icicle. I turned around, trying to understand where my senses were guiding me. It's probably somewhere around here. Seriously, let's go back. The snowfall is increasing. Sybil, please. I feel the glade is almost under our noses. We need to search a little more. It's dangerous to go further. 5 minutes of search and we'll be back, I promise. Fine, a deal, but only 5 minutes. We went a little further. The snow was falling on my face, leaving cold kisses. I was surrounded by whiteness. It felt much scarier than the familiar darkness of the monastery. One would never expect anything bad from the color white, right? It looks so innocent, kind, traditional, blinding if you don't expect it. You know what I'm talking about. When the screen turns completely white out of nowhere, right? Until the snow's embers chains you completely, suffocating you. Also, on the white surface, it's very easy to tell apart the other colors. That's true. What was that? For example, red. A spot of scarlet flashed among the whiteness of the trees. And then again. What's that? Where? Oh! Holy crap. He suddenly fell out of the white mist, as if he crossed a mile in a single step. A man covered in blood. He was stumbling, leaning on the tree trunks and breathing heavily. Steam was coming from his mouth, mixed with bloody saliva. Oh. We were frozen in place. The stranger's wild glare paralyzed us like a spell. Come on, girls, run for your life. He was getting closer. The only people in this whole world were Sybil and I, and the blood-stained man. 2 against 1 amongst the freezing whiteness. Run! The sound of human speech scattered the magic of fear. Sybil and I rushed to the monastery, screaming at the top of our lungs. Our screams had silenced the blood-stained stranger's rattle. I ran as fast as I could, while imagining this man turning into a horrible monster from the legend. This is how they appear to be, right? The monsters. I want to return to my monastic cell and hide under a blanket, but Saint Eleanor would have never done such a cowardly thing. What do you mean? We received the scolding of our lives. Sister Vanessa was even more frightened than we were. The rosary she held in her hand looked like it was about to split in half. In the end of the long and shrill lecture, the sister sighed heavily and turned to Sybil. And who was the genius behind the forest escapade? What a silly question. Is it the shame of what have you done eating away your soul, Sybil? Going so far as to involve Nellie in your shenanigans. But don't protect her, Nellie. I'm well aware of the fact that Sybil never thinks about the consequences of her actions. The space between a nun's ears should be filled with singing prayers, not air. But it was... Sybil stepped forwards. You're right, Sister Vanessa. I'm guilty. Of course you are. You will be spending the next week inside your monastic cell. May the holy elders grace you with humility and wisdom. But... Stop it, Nellie. I deserve this. Sister Vanessa rewarded us with a farewell glare of the dark eyes, then nodded gladly and walked away. Sybil, why did you do this? Oh, don't mind it. Vanessa would not blame me for everything that way. I just saved us time. It's so unfair. I just love you so much. Silly Snowdrop shouldn't be locked up inside, and for me it won't be a big deal. I love you too. That's great. Now I know that my suffering won't be in vain. Sybil embraced me and I laughed, pretending everything was alright. From inside I was burning with discontent. My friend was punished in my place, but I had to accept it. Or you could go to Sister Vanessa and say the truth, if you wanted to. When it came to Sybil, Sister Vanessa was blind. She saw what she wanted to see and heard what she felt comfortable hearing. I guess it's the same with you, kind of. My friend had been locked inside for the whole week, and I was left alone making guesses about the forest stranger's identity and what could have possibly happened to him. This was how the day ended, dear diary. Sister Vanessa ordered the other elder sisters to find the injured man and bring him into the monastery. Is it a good idea? It seems we are going to give him medical treatment. So he isn't a monster, but an injured person. Praise Saint Eleanor. I have to talk to him. I wonder who could have hurt him so badly. A real monster? Does such a creature live in the forest? It's too bad the elder sisters don't take my worries seriously. They don't believe in monsters. It's not surprising at all. But dear diary, I'm sure the book about magical snowdrops has crossed my sight not without a reason. I must find them in order to protect the monastery from that monster. Just like Saint Eleanora. See you later, diary. I'm sure we're going to have much more to talk about. Month of the Aquatic Dragon, day 9th. Dear diary, I'm so sorry. I have forgotten about you again. I've been reading the legend of the magical glade over and over, trying to figure out where it's hiding. Since a monster has appeared in the forest, I urgently need divine protection. Sybil is still punished. I talked to her through the door, but it seems Sister Vanessa can tell when I'm getting close to the locked cell. The stranger hasn't yet gained consciousness. He's fighting a heavy fever, as Sister Harmonica says. Saint Eleonora, I pray for him to get well soon. It's become unsettling inside the monastery. Of course, everyone is scared of the creature that left those awful injuries on the stranger's body. Thank goodness Nate paid me a visit today. We're always meeting in the monastery's garden. Sometimes Nate takes me for a walk in the forest. To be honest, the place doesn't matter to me as long as Nate is with me. He's wonderful. Give me a second. It sounds familiar. Being next to him makes me feel so quiet and warm, even on the cold winter days. Maybe not. It's been such a long time. Maybe not. Let's go with... It's been such a long time. Have you been busy lately? Yes, my father makes me work like a horse. I don't regret bearing the name of the Wastefield sometimes. Don't say that. Otherwise we'd have never met each other. You don't know that. Years ago, when Nate was a little boy, he was curious about the donations the Wastefield family made. He wanted to see where his parents' money was going. As a result, little Nate secretly sneaked into our monastery. We fell in love at first sight, just like a fairy tale. Haha, you're right. I'm not going to say foolish things anymore. Nate's eyes darkened with anxiety. What about you? Is everything fine? You know about our guest, don't you? Of course. Who is he? Where did he come from? Who wanted him? I'm sorry, Nellie. For me, he's a total stranger, just like for you. What a pity! I thought you were going to enlighten me about him. Perhaps after noticing my disappointment, Nate hurried to continue.
2 men were found dead near the highway.
Huh?
They were probably a group of merchants. Looks like the victims had been attacked on their way to Wastefield village. One of them managed to get away.
The man me and Sybil met? I wonder why didn't he search for help in the village?
Suspicious!
Was he so frightened by the monster that he ran off without looking, venturing to the depths of the forest? Or maybe he knew about the Wastefield Monastery, whose walls could protect him from the sharp claws of the beast.
He didn't regain consciousness yet.
Technically yet, so hasn't, but whatever. Unfortunately, nah. I wonder who could have attacked him and his friends.
Yeah, me too.
Nate frowned even more, but then quickly returned a beautiful smile on his face. Sure, let's say it's beautiful. As a dude, I can't tell. Let's stop talking.
Let's stop talking about the bad things, Nellie. Why ruin our meetings with dark stories?
Would you rather listen to a nice story?
Could it be the legend of the Saint Eleanor and Nathaniel the Knight?
Nate slightly narrowed his eyes as if he was planning to prank. Right!
I would gladly listen to it one more time. I love the sound of your voice.
Feeling embarrassed, I turned away for a moment in order to calm myself down. I knew this legend by heart. I had read it for the first time before I made Nate's acquaintance. How excited I was when I learned the name of my childhood sweetheart. Without a doubt, it was fate that brought us together. Blessed we are. I kind of understand her excitement about that. Fate has brought us together. That's a nice thing to say, huh? I turned around to meet Nate's encouraging and gentle smile, and I started talking. In the ancient times, peace and tranquility reigned over the meadows of the world, and the people were keeping the holy blessings inside their souls, without the knowing of evil. But the happiness never went unnoticed by the vile demon, for his dark heart was filled with jealousy for the holy children. So he sent a monster to the green meadows, and the crops withered, the cattle fell ill, and scarlet blood poured down the roads. For 100 years, the monster tormented and tortured the harmless people, until Nathaniel, the knight, the heir to the throne, dared to defy it. He fought the beast for a long time, but it seemed impossible to defeat the insidious enemy that was fed by the demonic wrath. That was when a beautiful maiden, Saint Eleanora, appeared to bless the knight's blade with the holy light. Blue petals flew high into the sky when Nathaniel swung the sword, and the monster was banished back into the darkness. Wait, just that? Not completely eliminated? That's problematic. The knight and the saint fell in love, and bequeathed to their descendants to protect the land from the future emergence of evil. For the demon didn't abandon his jealousy, and turned the defeated monster into the constellation of the beast. Okay. Beware, people, for this evil sits in the dark dome, and with power return, will come back to kill and defame. Be aware and wait, for the descendants of Nathaniel the Knight and Saint Eleanora will remember the duty and protect you. Blessed we are.
Wonderful, as usual.
I love this legend.
And I love you.
kinda crappy comeback, not gonna lie. Not the right moment. Anyway, how can he say such an embarrassing word so easily? I wonder what are those petals mentioned in the legend. Those must be snowdrops, right? A few days ago, I read about the magical snowdrops which bloom with blue light in the middle of the cold winter. They can protect you from evil. That's how Saint Eleonora was able to defeat the monster.
You're probably right, Nellie. What a clever girl.
For some reason, Nate's eyes sparkled with joy. By the way... Great! This way we can defeat the monsters too.
We?
Of course! We are Eleonora and Nathaniel, aren't we?
Can't argue with that.
He laughed, but I didn't join, my beloved. So flustered, I was about to the sudden revelation about the flower petals. I think he doesn't believe in all of that. Anyway, Nate noticed that.
Wait, are you not afraid of that monster? Not at all?
Well, I'm not even sure it really exists.
Huh?
I decided against sharing my suspicions with Nate for now. Sister Vanessa always scolded me for having an overactive imagination, so I did my best to act sensible and mature.
Haven't you noticed?
Eh? Noticed what?
The very same constellation disappeared from the sky. The beast is gone.
Eh? My legs went weak in an instant, and I swayed to the side like a gust of wind. Nate hurried to take my hand.
Here, Nellie, calm down.
It disappeared. I have noticed. It was a joke.
Sorry. It was a joke, Nellie. It was a joke. A joke!
Eh? A joke?
Sure. The monsters don't exist, Nellie.
I didn't believe him. Nate tried to save me from my fears by telling an innocent lie. He hoped that I would forget what he'd said, because the winter sky was always obscured by clouds, and there was no way to check if the constellation had really disappeared.
Let's not talk about the monsters anymore. Alright, follow me, there's something I wanted to show you.
Eh? What? Where are we going?
It's not far from here. The legend about the saint and the knight reminded me about a certain nice place.
I nodded in agreement, but my mind was busy with the thoughts about the beast. We went outside the monastery's walls. I was only allowed to walk in the woods when I was accompanied by Nate. The elder sisters gave us their approval thanks to Mr. Weisfield, who asked them for such a favor. Okay. It got dark and the forest looked very, very creepy, especially after I'd heard about the missing beast. Should we really go there? I couldn't help looking up at the sky, but the clouds were sour and hiding the truth. Thank goodness Nate's tongue had slipped, or I would continue living without knowing about it. Even before he's actually the beast.
Well, we'll be there soon.
But what if the monster is roaming nearby?
Don't worry, I'll protect you. Oh, look, here!
I wanted to remind Nate that it was impossible to defeat the monster without the saint's blessing and her magical flowers, but I lost my words. The most amazing sight spread out right before my eyes. A small glade was sparkling with a kind and tender pale blue light. Tiny flower heads swayed faintly in the winter breeze. I seemed to be whispering prayers in the soft voice of Saint Eleonora. Unbelievable! I could hardly remember how to talk.
I knew you'd like it.
This is fate, right? Fate! You asked me to tell you the legend, then you guessed about the snowdrops, and here they are. They're real, the magical snowdrops from the legend.
Nate just nodded.
They were going to defeat the monsters for sure.
Nellie.
Thank you, dear knight. You have given me the most wonderful gift ever.
You are not afraid anymore?
Absolutely not.
That's good.
Together, we admired the snowdrops silently for a while. Their magical light filled my heart with bravery. After that, Nate escorted me back to the monastery, and then he and his companions headed back to the village. I handed him a snowdrop, the one I had picked in the glade. Wait, those were actually really flowers? I thought it was... Those were... Whatever. Those were... what are they called? The flying things that light up at night. I don't remember now. It's out of my freaking mind. What was it called? Oh my god. I need to search. Because I will not remember now. The problem is I don't remember even in my own language. Fireflies, exactly. Whew, I got it. Anyway, I handed him a snowdrop, one I had picked in the glade, a parting gift, and an amulet against the beast. Nate smiled faintly, and I realized that he still didn't believe that the monster existed. I'm so anxious I can't fall asleep. I'm writing these lines at dawn. I hope I can get at least an hour of sleep. Me before work, basically. My head is filled with so many thoughts. It's so strange, isn't it, dear diary? The constellation has disappeared. Someone hurt the travelers badly, and a small glade with magical snowdrops appeared not so far from the monastery. They grew right in time, not earlier, not later, as if someone gave me a helping hand. I should share a couple of flowers with Sibyl, just in case. You know what? With those words from the previous page of the diary, let's end the episode. We'll continue with this message over here right now, which I haven't read yet, tomorrow. For now, hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, consider liking that would be much appreciated. You can comment if you would be willing at all to be a member of Monastery. I definitely would not want to be there, that's for sure. But yeah. Subscribe, of course, if you haven't already. That would be super appreciated as well. There is also Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, to which you can go. And that's pretty much it. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Because tomorrow we'll continue the Snowdrop Diaries. Yeah, bye-bye.